Okay, in today's video, I am here again outside Tokyo. Why do I always come here? I don't know. I like it here. But the question is, big loss, big fail. Yeah, so you've probably seen my other video about freelancing, and I just want to explain why you probably shouldn't. And I've learned a lot in the last year and a half or last 2 years about what you should and shouldn't do as a freelancer. And I hope I can clear some things for you and help you to maybe double check yourself if you ever want to do it. And this probably can apply for many other countries too, not just Japan, but especially Japan. You've got to check all this stuff so the big mistake I did is I made, as you saw, around 100,000, and I worked so hard for it. It was really hard for me to get there, but I got there. The problem is taxes. That's a big problem. Why is it a big problem? Because taxes all up from that was around 43%. Yeah, 43. That's terrible, right? So how does that even work? Well, I will share the image just after this, but the image will show the different tax brackets. And I didn't know that about tax write-offs and why they were important. When I heard people say, just write it off. Why would you write things off? So if I just wrote off around $10,000 on work-related stuff, I wouldn't have so much taxes. And so I will break down how the taxes work. So you have, one is the pension and health insurance. And I usually put these together because it's basically going to the old folks, right? So pension, health insurance, income tax, and then city tax. Those are the four main taxes. But what I didn't know was the fifth tax, which is a kind of building back Japan tax. I don't know what it's called, but since the earthquake happened in 2011, I think, there's been a new tax that's been going around, which you have to pay, I think. And it's basically whatever your income tax is, you have to pay 2/3 of that to help rebuild Japan. So that's a lot of money. My income tax statement, because I didn't have any write-offs, my income tax was around, of $100,000, it became $12,000 or $13,000. That's because my tax bracket was over the $90,000 mark. If it's below the $90,000 mark, it's not 33%, but 22%. So you see, I'm not going to exactly go through it, but reducing your taxes is really important as a freelancer, because now I have to pay off around $43,000 of taxes. And some people might say, well, you get overpaid anyway. And I think, what? Like, you don't understand how mentally tough programming in IT is. It's not like I just got this money from the convenience store, working a job where I just do the daily movements. This is a lot of stress from it, in weekend working, late night working. So I understand it's a lot of money, but still, why should I work so hard to lose over 40% of it? It just, it's hard to understand. So that's the biggest reason why you maybe shouldn't, because if you shouldn't become a freelance in Japan, because taxes are annoying and you really have to understand what you're doing. I just thought, cool, I'm making this much, I'm the man, I'm gonna save up and all that and travel and buy a bunch of crap. But I didn't buy crap, I tried a lot of stuff. So that's the one thing why it sucks. Another one is that stress of paying taxes. It's not, so for example, if you don't pay taxes in New Zealand, okay, I'll just do this, I'll just do that, there's no problem. But not paying taxes in Japan might affect your your visa issues. So that's the other part. You have the stress of having to keep up with taxes, and if something doesn't work, I don't know how immigration will look at me. They go, oh, this guy is not paying his taxes or something. Okay, another reason why you might not want to is let me check. Things like rent, credit cards, anything that involves a liability of some sort, you may not be able to get it if you're a freelancer. You probably won't be able to get it if you're a foreigner, and even harder if you are a freelance foreigner. So renting a house, they might ask what company you work for, or if you try to get a credit card or something, they'll need how much you make from your company. But if you're a freelancer, for some things they don't like it. Remember, Japan doesn't have so many freelancers, so as much as maybe other countries. Which goes into the other point, is the freelancers are looked at a bit differently in Japan. Maybe everywhere else too, but society doesn't have exactly, if you say, for example, even if I can make 200,000 as a freelancer, and if someone goes, I work at this company, they go, ooh, the society kind of, your face is based on which company you work for. I think this is everywhere, but especially Japan. If you say I work for this company, big company, they go, ooh, this guy's safe, or this guy's the man. So I don't know how that affects you, but that affects you somehow, how people look at you. Another thing I realized as a freelancer, you might start to dislike coding or making stuff, because you will be put into, when I worked at a company before, God damn it. When I worked at a company before, I had a specific skill. I was doing D3 animations and D3 dashboards. And the great thing about that was, after about 1 year, I was really good at making dashboards in D3. I had all my code. If something came up, I can just reuse so much code. Or if I want to revise some parts, like how do I make the transition of arcs look beautiful, and just all these small things that you get when you work in a larger company. When you're a freelancer, you kind of can't become really good at one thing. For example, I have a project now, and it's all in, I have to refactor the code and add features to it, and it's all in jQuery, and it's just one big massive spaghetti mess. I can't use D3, and even I used Vue before, I can't use Vue. I can't use Vue.js 3 or something. Or maybe this other project, I have to use WordPress or something. Not because I want to, but it's already in WordPress. So you might end up hating or disliking making or coding as a freelancer. And I think that's how I feel a lot now, which is, even though I already accepted another project, but I said I'm declining a lot, but I ended up accepting. So anyway, the point being is that you will not become an expert at one thing. You'd have to wear a lot of hats, and those hats are annoying to put on and take off. Or this code's already in PHP, or so you have to use PHP. I hate PHP. Why? Because I'm a hipster. I don't know. So yeah, wearing a lot of hats is annoying sometimes. As a freelancer, you have to have a lot of discipline. And I'm not the best at discipline. Compared to some people, maybe I am. But the discipline is something as simple as waking up at 9 a.m. every day. I just code throughout the night, and then also the discipline of keeping up with the project's tasks. You're juggling 3 different projects. Right now I'm juggling 3 projects at once. I told myself I'll stop doing this, but I want to pay off my student loan, and I want to save up for some things I want to do. So the discipline to juggle multiple projects at once, you have to, because, for example, there was 2 months this year where I made under $3,000 in a month. I had only 1 project. But for example, to make up how much I want to make for this year, I would have to work more in other months. So you kind of have to keep 2 or 3 projects just in case one slows down, or maybe one is not worth so much. So the discipline to manage your time is very important. And if you get stressed so much from that, you might be better off working in a company specializing in Vue.js, or specializing in Node.js, specializing in Banana.js, whatever the hell JS is doing. So that's another one. Just a little funny thing, I shouldn't be perving, but around this area, sometimes you can see young women with men with cameras. And what it is, it's a bit creepy for some people, is you pay the lady money for an hour, or I don't know how much, maybe like $80 or 100 and something 1 hour, and then you can take photos of her around Tokyo Station. They do it around Akihabara as well, but that's a little creepy thing that you see a lot lately, that kind of service. I've never done it. Why would I take photos of beautiful ladies? I can get it for free. You can get it for free online. You can get it for free off Telegram, some dodgy guy from the middle of nowhere sharing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that gave you just a bit of understanding of why freelancing sucks in some ways. And it might not be for you, you know. It's, your happiness is the most important, and if you're not happy doing it, then you probably shouldn't. But thanks for watching. Comment, like, and all that stuff, and add me on LinkedIn if you need. And I'll talk to you soon. Also, a thing about the taxes, my friends who make, or CTOs I know who make way more than me, pay less taxes than me. So you have to learn how to minimize your taxes, because everyone else is doing it. One guy I know pays himself 0 and does everything through his company. Everything is company expenses. So that's something I'm learning now, is to go out and drink with heaps of different people and just say it's work related, and it will be added as tax deductible. So that's one thing I wish I knew before I started freelancing, that if you have money in Tokyo, people are not paying taxes. But I'm gonna pay them. What about the roads? Shut up, mate. You don't even work so hard. So I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to anyone who's telling me, oh, you're gonna pay all the, what about the roads or something? I'm not a libertarian, but I'm just saying, guys I know making 3-4 times way more are paying way less than me. So, and the reason is also, if you're a freelance engineer in Tokyo, you can't register a company under a working visa. It costs a lot of money to do it. So maybe not, like, making over 100K might not be the best option as a freelancer in Japan. Okay, unless you love paying taxes, or you spend a lot of money on work-related things like nomikai, drinking, buying the latest MacBook for work, paying for an expensive office, things like that, which in the end, I don't know. But anyway, if you're a freelancer in Japan, drink with a lot of different people and get the invoice of the receipt, the ryoshisho, the receipt, and then just add it to your tax deductible, and you'll be a happy Tokyo person. A message from our sponsor, me. So if you like Japan and you're an engineer, or if you're in Japan or outside Japan, or you want to come to Japan, and engineering, and you want to just increase your connections in Japan. How many times have I said Japan? I'm starting my own service. There's a link in the description. It's called DevIppo, development, and Ippo meaning step. It's your first step to make a connection in Japan. And there's a link there with a form. If you fill it out, it will help me a lot to connect you with foreign developers with Japan. So, yeah, fill it out, and if you don't like it, you can delete the form by selecting delete, and I'll delete it for you. Basically, to simplify it, every Monday these forms are sent to companies. The companies can request a friend request on LinkedIn, And then from there, it's all up to you. You can maybe freelance with them, maybe you're a student, maybe you're already working in Japan and you want to just make some connections for possible freelancing. So give it a try and help me out, and I'll help you out.